Hey guys, I'm here with my very good friend Amy McCready, and you're going to say like, wow, she looks really familiar because you've seen her on the Today Show, and she's my friend, and she's in my couch right now. She has a new book. It's coming out. It's available right now called The Me Epidemic, a step-by-step guide to raising capable, grateful kids in an over-entitled world. I didn't mean to start out making my kids over-entitled and all that. But I think that we all
do.
We all do. It's out of love.
Absolutely.
But I think that my kids maybe are a little entitled. Maybe.
Well, and so are mine. I have teenagers, as you know, and I wrestle with the same thing myself because we love our people more than anything, and we want the best for them, and we want to do all we can for them, and that's great, but sometimes it's too much of a good thing. And so all of our loving kind of over-parenting, again, all in the name of love, sometimes creates some entitled attitudes in our kids.
Yes. So I was reading this book because she's a friend. I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. And then I was going like, oh my gosh, it's like she has a little camera in my house. And I actually picked out some of the quotes that spoke to me that I think that hopefully you guys can learn from too. Experiencing consequences teaches us that if we sleep late, we'll miss the bus. Mm-hmm. And if we don't eat, we'll get hungry. Let's focus on that last thing. I have a little guy that somehow exists without calories. He does not eat. So you're saying that I shouldn't force him to eat, or I shouldn't give him snacks afterwards? I mean,
that's a hard thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want a child to go to bed hungry,
right,
for heaven's sakes. But here's the thing. The more that we parents fuss and prod and coax and just try one more bite, and I know you'll like it if you try it, the more that we do that, it creates all of this power around eating. And so it becomes the perfect opportunity for a child to be like, not going to do it, not going to try it. And every night it is a battle at the dinner table. I know.
Night. He will be hungry before he goes to bed. What do I give him? Nothing?
Well, do you normally have a snack before you go to bed?
I don't, and Lola doesn't.
Okay, so some families, that's a normal part of their routine. They have snack before they go to bed, and in which case you'd want to have, a healthy apple or whatever it happens to be. If that's not part of your routine, well then you don't give a snack. So this is your chance to eat. Now you do have to make sure, especially with little kids, that you're serving things that you know they're going to eat something.
Right.
They may not eat everything, but your job as the parent is to serve healthy meals and create a pleasant environment for mealtime. And then the kid's job is to eat it or not.
Okay. Keep focus off achievements and instead encourage enthusiasm, courage, perseverance, and kindness.
Yes.
So talk to me, Goose. Yeah. What's this mean?
All right, so we all think our kids are the best and the brightest
The best.
and the most awesomest and all of that. And that's fine. However, if we put too much attention on the A on the spelling test, or the fact that they scored the winning goal, or whatever it is, it creates the impression in their mind that that's all we care about. It's all about the end result. Where what we want to do is actually encourage the effort, the hard work, the perseverance, the extra study time, all of that time in the driveway practicing their free throws, whatever it is. We want to encourage the hard work because they're not always going to get A's. They're not always going to be the star player. They may have a sibling who doesn't have the same level of talent or skill. And so if we focus on that, the winning thing, whatever that happens to be, it's just not sustainable. You want to encourage the things that are going to contribute to a successful outcome. So I always tell parents it's sort of like a big red arrow. So effort, improvement, things that are moving them towards their goal. And those are the things you want to encourage because they can duplicate that in the classroom, on the basketball court, in their job eventually.
And as school's starting, there's a lot of pressure to get that A and to get that, but that's not what I should be celebrating.
There's nothing wrong with commenting on the A, as long as you link it to something. So, wow, you got an A in math. All of that hard work paid off.
Right.
All right, all of that extra study time, that careful job she did on her homework. Tie it to something tangible that she can repeat then in other areas.
Here's another one. By saying, I'm proud of you, we unknowingly teach our kids to tune into the judgments of other people. I say, I'm proud of you 20 to 30 times a day. Something like that.
That's a lot.
Like, no, or I'm so proud of, or you're so smart. I'm so
Yes.
proud of you. And I think that that's not what I should be doing?
There is nothing wrong with telling your kids you're proud of them, because you are.
Right.
However, we don't want to create praise junkies. And so what's more important, actually, is that your kids are proud of themselves. Because right now, they care what you think. But down the road, they're going to be more interested in what the boyfriend or girlfriend thinks, or their peer group. So we want to foster what's called that internal locus of control, internal motivation. So when she says, Mommy, are you proud of me? You can say, well, sweetie, what's more important is that you're proud of yourself. Or if you're just making a comment, instead of saying, oh, I'm so proud of you, say, wow, you must be so proud of yourself.
So just turning the language a little
Yes. Think about fostering the internal motivation. You must be so proud of yourself. You must be so proud of how hard you worked on that. You must be so proud of your improvement.
Just those little tweaks in the language.
Yes.
Okay.
The other thing is, if you sort of created a little bit of that praise junkie, and
I
a
have.
lot of us have.
Yeah,
Don't
I have.
feel bad about that. But she will challenge you. So always turn around. You can still comment on how you feel about the painting or whatever it is, but ask her, what do you like best? How do you feel about it?
And do that first. Because I feel
Yes.
like she's going to like wise up to this and be like, huh, does that mean you're not proud of me? But that's, just keep at it. Keep
Yes,
redirecting. Okay.
exactly.
When we do for kids what they can do for themselves, we rob them the crucial feelings of belonging and significance. And I can't even say that with a straight face, because my son, who's 5.5, I do so much for him still that he needs to be doing himself, and I'm completely guilty. I know I am, but I help him put his Velcro shoes on. They're Velcro. He can put them on himself.
So this is an opportunity.
Okay.
Okay, and this is what I'm going to challenge you and Penn to do, especially with the start of the school year. Okay. I want you to find 1 or 2 things for both kids that you have been doing for them, but they're really perfectly capable of doing for themselves with a little bit of training.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the Velcro shoes, maybe it's getting the cereal out in the morning, whatever the breakfast thing is. Figure out what that thing is, and then do the training, and then let them know that they're going to be responsible for it.
We send them out the door in the morning, and it is always like a fire drill. It's a surprise every day that they have to put shoes on. Every day it's a surprise. So I feel like we're doing all of this stuff for them, and we're creating these people that are just not very independent.
Well, and so here's the goal. You want, especially for the age of your kids, you want them to pretty much self-manage their morning routine. Wow. So think about if no adults lived in this house.
Oh my gosh.
How could they function? So that might mean bringing cereal bowls down to their level, the cereal down. Think about arranging the physical environment so they can be completely independent. And then think about all the things that have to be done in the morning. So whatever the morning checklist is, you create that checklist for them in words or in pictures. And then you create what we call a when-then routine. So it's basically when the yucky stuff is done, then we have the fun. So when you're dressed, your bed is made, hair is combed, backpack is ready, is by the door, all of that, then we'll have breakfast.
Oh.
Okay, assuming your kids care about breakfast. Or maybe then we'll read a couple stories before we leave.
Or watching TV in the morning.
If that's what you do, sure, whatever that is, 10 minutes of TV in the morning.
Right.
But you create that when-then routine. They have it in writing, in pictures or words. So basically, you and Penn can be sitting back having a cup of coffee while the kids are managing their own morning routine. And with a little bit of training, I promise you they can do that.
Really?
Really.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Do it.
She's on the Today Show all the time, but right
Are
now...
you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been
Come
sitting
here,
here
Penn.
listening. I have like a question. So
I knew
heard
you'd
you
wanna
wrapping
weigh
up.
in on
I wanted to
this.
make sure. So this
knew
has
you'd wanna
nothing
weigh
to do
in.
with this stuff. I totally lied to my son last night to make him stop crying. And we need to discuss this.
Okay, let's
so
discuss.
Intervention time.
He had this tadpole named Marlin, who he got, and we went to the mountains and we got back, and it was floating up like this.
As most tadpoles are wont to
Yes.
do when you catch them in a glass.
I've never seen him like this for the loss of anything. Like
Yes,
he's lost
I
a great
understand.
grandfather recently. Like he was bent. He was
Yeah.
like he like we were lying in bed and he was finally got it together. He was like, so anyway, so there were 4 of them and there was Junior and there was Marlon, and then he just lost it again. So I came up with this total lie.
I had nothing to do with this.
That when tadpoles die, they go up into the clouds and turn into raindrops because they look like raindrops. And then when it rains again, they go back into the creek and you can go find them later on.
That's quite brilliant. I would expect you to come up with something that creative. That's awesome.
But it's a lie.
It is.
So what should I have done instead of lying to my 5-year-old son?
Well, so how did you explain it when the great-grandfather died?
That he was in heaven with Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Well,
Because he loves Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And he was totally okay with that.
And so it could be
Yeah.
the same thing for the loss of a pet.
I tried that. I was like, he's with,
Yeah.
like, I had to think of a lie that would bring him back.
And did it help? I mean, did
Yeah,
he?
he's like, because it's supposed to rain tonight. He's going to go back to the creek and he's going
Yeah.
to get another tadpole and it's not going to be marlin, but he doesn't know that.
I wasn't thrilled with this, but I heard it going, and I just
Yeah.
couldn't.
You
I
have to
couldn't
jump in.
stop the train.
Right. And so the train was going. There was nothing you can do about
Walking
it.
station.
And so not a big deal.
Okay.
So
No permanent damage done.
I'm sure there's no
But
permanent
next
damage.
time,
But
maybe
next
I just
time.
try to let him grieve and move on
Exactly.
with life. Okay.
Exactly. And just like you would go through the grieving process for a relative, like you did
Okay.
with the great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing. How do we know they don't do that when they die? Does anyone have any hard evidence about what happens to a tadpole when they die?
We don't. And
Have
you
they
could
done a lot of research?
not that I'm aware. Well, they probably have, but
That's
I'm
your
not
next
aware of it.
book.
Yes,
That's your
yes.
next book,
She's
Amy.
like, this is so beneath me right now. Like,
Stop. No, but what you
sorry.
could say is, I like to think that,
Yeah.
or in my
That's what I should have
imagination,
said.
in
Like,
my
I have a
mind,
theory,
yes,
and here it is. That
yes.
would have been better.
And this is a beautiful way to think about it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
there's all.
This is science.
Well, he
Yeah.
said,
And I'm sure that there is no permanent damage there. If it makes you feel any better, years ago when the goldfish died, I went out and bought a new one, and thinking that I was totally going to pull one over on my son, and he came home and he's like, "Oh, the goldfish changed colors." And I was like, "Oh, I am the worst parent on the planet."
do you learn a lot by listening?
Yeah, I've been in the other room totally taking notes. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
but
it.
we're,
We could go on for days.
Yeah, I know.
There's so
This,
much to talk
like,
about.
literally, we're just going to have Amy come live with us.
And I've heard some of it because I've read some of the book, but when you plug in like our actual issues, it's pretty useful to have like an interactive book.
I know.
Or her.
I
like,
know.
in the room. It's pretty. I feel like we're not failing.
No.
But we can get our grades better with the way
Yes.
that we're parenting. Like this is kind of cool.
Well,
Yes.
again, this is everything that we do comes out of love, but our
Yeah.
goal is to raise capable, grateful kids in an over-entitled world. So it's just making a few tweaks
Yeah.
to all of our parenting style.
Thank
Good.
you.
I'm excited for you guys to
Yeah.
jump on some of these
I
ideas.
know. I know. I feel like we're
You
going
guys
to.
all look so nice. I feel like you should close with like you guys are
Okay, bye, Pen.
made up and dressed
done.
up. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay,
was
again.
fun.
Me, Epidemic, available now. Where should they go to find this?
Anywhere books are sold, online, retail stores, their favorite indie store. And if you're looking for other places, amymccready.com. All the
Other
links
books
are
on
there.
and
Yes.
also parenting training. And then until she writes her next book, she's going to be living in our basement, just providing daily parenting advice.
This will be our case study.
Yeah, our
work.
case study. It's like she's the super nanny of parenting experts. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.